Great. Let's get started. Welcome, everyone. This is Fireside Fables. This is where the Dungeon Masters in the League of Fabled Pursuits goes live to talk about the fine art of DMing. I'm your host, Anders Tadvik, and before I present our guests, I invite everybody in the room to write DMing questions or memories of games with these people, just so that we will have things to talk about in this episode. This will be recorded and shared with the community to help fuel future games. So let's dive in. So let me welcome Daniel and Tevin.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
Good. Good. Feeling welcomed.
Yeah. Good. We will be going around in the chat. I have some questions that I will be asking you, but basically we're talking a little bit about how we DM.
Yeah.
I have asked you not to prepare, so let's see. So I'm just gonna start us off with some rapid fire questions, and you both will answer. Maybe I will answer two, and then we'll see what happens. Let's go. You ready?
I'm ready.
What is one thing every DM should do?
One thing every DM should do. I think interact with stories that are outside of the genre of D&D, because it gives you, in my opinion, it gives you insight into how things could work in your sessions, or things you like, right? So interacting with that, I think, helps you with building that world or the story or ideas for something that you can use in D&D.
Yeah, I actually would. I could build on that for mine, which is whatever genre or like type of media that you are most familiar with or you're most engaged with. I think start there, and using D&D as a system is a really nice and easy way to just jump straight in, because that using genre as a short form. My example is, I will a lot of sci-fi stuff, because if someone says to me, "Oh, how does the maglev train work?" I can answer that immediately because I've read 400 books on it, without having to actually write a page on all the different technological systems in my world. So if you're really into pirate adventures, or if you just read loads of fantasy, that obviously also counts. So start from the perspective of what you know, and then D&D can kind of mold into it.
Yeah.
Very true.
Immediate follow-up questions is, so for you, what is one thing that you do know that you bring into the game? And then for you, what is one source that you bring into it?
What do you mean?
Like something that you're building off of that you already...
A truly unhinged amount of sci-fi. I spent like 500 euros on used sci-fi books the other day at the used bookstore, and it's I have reading material for a year, and that's all I've read for 30 years. So this whole just absolutely any question as it relates to made up technology in the future, I'm like, no, I'll probably read something.
That's amazing. What about you?
I think when it comes to sources, it's a lot of like anime, martial arts movies, also sci-fi. But I think growing up, I had like all these DVD boxes with like martial arts movies, where you had these archetypes of characters. And I think that's always fun to then, okay, how do you bring that in a D&D session? Like bringing in a drunk martial artist. Like, how do you do that? What does that look like? It could even be a different class, but still have that same idea around it. And I think that helps me. Like, what you know helps, because you, like, when you have to do things on the fly, you can just always refer back to the information you have already. And that's the same, like, I had that also with studying, where it's like, I'm not repeating just, I just need to retain the information. I know it, I've used it, I've done it a million times, and now I just bring it back. And then when it happens in the session, it's easier to just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, the line from Seven Samurai to a D campaign is a straight line.
Yeah.
It's like zero conversion required. You can just do that.
Like you can create an entire set of either villains or heroes just from that.
Yeah.
Like there's just some, and it's interesting if you grab something and then flip it into something else, where it's like, oh, this was a hero in this story. I'll flip it. Now it's a villain.
Yeah.
And what does that look like? How do they interact? And how does it feel to have a villain that's kind of honorable, maybe even?
And also, like, if you're so in it that you are in the niche end of it, if you know like really specific stuff, you could just use it. Like it's homebrewing. You don't even. This is for like people who the idea that like DMing is a huge amount of work, and it is, but it doesn't have to be writing a novel every time, right? It can just be like, I'm doing the Magnificent Seven. Yeah. Like that's the campaign. I'm going to watch the Magnificent Seven, and then I'm going to just write down the encounters, right? Like okay, they go to the OK Corral.
It's so true. I think I use like music or characters from comedy this way, but it's just the characters. I think I should steal plots more as well.
It's like, because as I said, every story's been written, right? Like man versus nature, like man versus himself. Let's go get him.
I have stolen just straight up challenges from video games. That doesn't feel like it's quite so separated from D&D.
This is just Dark Souls.
You can see through it. You have at my table. Waco says he's also found himself buying old copies of William Shatner's Tech War at the used bookshop. It's a great bookstore in Amsterdam.
If anyone finds any Ace doubles, they're out of print now. If they find Ace doubles at the English bookstore, get them for me. I'll buy them from you. Okay. Because I've cleared them out and I know they've got more.
Yeah. Let's see. We have a question. We also have some reverb questions going on, so we'll see if we will solve that in a second. But while we do that, a question from Annette. What is the most important decision in the process of making your Titans? Tell us what your Titan is for the post-event crowd.
Okay. Mine is Titan of Veils. And most important decision for the making of my Titan, I think creating a sort of separation in the world that can help with creating friction. It can push like storylines and also differentiation between the groups of people that you see to make it feel more rich and full. Because then if I go to Memento within the Veils, it's one of the 3 layers that you have. You should have a different feel. And it also pushes me to describe something else, right? Because I started with just Invicta, which is the material plane, which is kind of the classic high fantasy stuff. And then I thought like, okay, now I'm going to do other things outside of that, also to push myself to think what that would look like and how they would interact. And how do you bring that together? I think.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, at the risk of repeating myself, originally I was doing the Time of Technology because it was what I knew so well, and it was just a very easy way to write a series of stories. I think just do what you find interesting, because if you're gonna do multiple sessions, if you're gonna keep writing for it, you have to find it interesting. If it's kind of if you're just doing something because you want to do a fantasy campaign, but that you're not that into fantasy campaign, you just like D&D, you're not going to stay at it. To that point, like eventually, after running technology for a while, I was getting burnt out on it, but I wanted to move it forward in a way, but I felt like it was a bit constrictive, so that's why I moved it into Titan of Progress, and that's sort of a lot more English folklore and folk music inspired, which is I also is something I find I'm interested in. So. And then you weave those two things together. But be interested in it is
Yeah.
But it kind of is a bit the broader point of do what you think is interesting, and 9 times out of 10 it'll turn out that other people find it interesting as well. Right?
Yeah. I think no, it's true, and that's why we have such good mix of really interesting Titans in the league. I think I created the Titan of Light, and I think it still holds true after it's changed to the Titan of Wonders. But basically, I was just like, I'm gonna, like, what if neoclassical paintings that are wrong about what ancient Rome and Greece looked like were true?
That's right.
What if that was the correct interpretation? So everything's just white marble, and everyone's lazy, and I just wanted it to be super chill. all the time. That can be hard to write adventures in, but anyway, that it was more just like a mood. And then Florence and the Machine. I was like, I wanted to feel like Florence and the Machine are playing a gig in this place.
That's a niche.
Good. I just want to dance barefoot in the woods. Let's see.
I turned up to that Titan after a couple of sessions. I think two sessions, and I very much came in like, what the hell is happening around here? What is this vibe? It was great.
Never answers.
Yeah.
I've never played a Neo Titan. That needs to be.
No, yeah.
I've played a lot on the Titan tech with a tech character. So that's
You might be the most well-traveled player in the league.
Yes, I think together with again Anne, I played the most. So I've been at most Titans, and because I played a lot, I think that also was like I keep creating characters. I need I need something where I can keep creating characters.
Yeah, that's awesome. A question from Waco: do you remember the first session you ran, and if so, how did it go?
Yes, I do actually. Yeah, I actually was going to the RPG Tvei Cleverer, what's it called, the RPG Union or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And it was a guy who had run a session called Memento, something he'd written, where the characters you all just turned up in a room, you had no memory, and you had to work out why you were there, right? And the story was basically over the course of it, you uncovered that you were all magic users and you were being experimented on by mind flayers to work out what was called how magic in the world of D&D worked. And anyway, I really liked it and I wanted to run a session, so I messaged the guy and said, "Can I have your stuff?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." Sent me all of his stuff. And I just ran the session myself. And when I played it, I went and ran it to Armory back in the day.
Yeah, that's great.
It was great. Yeah.
Huh. That's such a good entry way. And instead of just being like, I'm gonna go buy something published, that might work.
I can't read, and this is funny because I can't read. I can't. I can't read non-fiction, right? And it's funny to think of D&D modules as non-fiction, but they sort of are. They're textbooks. So I can't just sit down and read a module book, right? I have it on and listen to it and stuff like that. But that was never going to be an option for me. But and that's the same as how I learned to play D&D, just by osmosis, just watching, just listening to an unhinged amount of D&D podcasts.
Yeah.
And then having played the session, I'm like, well, then, I can just run the session now because I know it.
Yeah.
Give me the bits, you know?
You might find out a secret or two.
And then I just, that really unlocked a thing for me where I was like, there is nothing behind the curtain. As much as, the game is just, it's the same for you and the DM. They just know it an hour in advance of where you currently are. You know? So,
yeah. Oh my gosh. The Titan of being John Malkovich.
Exactly. The Titan of being, what's his name? What's your character?
Oh, Michael, Bella?
Bella, being Bella. Just inside Bella's brain.
Coming back to the question in a second, but this stems from Waco imagining a session where we all play one of Tevin's characters and he runs it.
That's funny. I have enough characters for you guys to do.
So first session you ran.
First session I ran. Yeah, I remember it because I wanted to create something that that felt different from the normal hero story. You've played it.
Yeah.
It essentially starts with the team failing. They come in and they learn that they've already failed. Like the ritual that they're trying to stop has already been done, and now they need to figure out like, okay, what's going on, what's next, and what do they do after that? And I think I'd written that kind of very much inspired by most anime stories, where it always starts with like, oh, the village has been destroyed, right? And then now what goes on, what happens, and maybe there's a hero that dies in that story or not. So I think I started it that way, and I also wanted to create something where I did something fun with like voice acting and stuff. So I had the major villains. I voice acted their lines that I'd written specifically for each character, and picked like which concept was connected to each character.
That's fun.
And then played the voice lines. pre-recorded, so it had like an epic effect and stuff. So that was fun to do. And how it went pretty great. It was fun because I think I learned that night already, where it's like you create something and first you try to expect how people respond. At least I try to. And people respond and do things in ways that you never expect. Like, bringing a character to a specific place where you're like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. So how do I respond to that? So I think that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I can attest.
Did you do pre-written characters for it? Or did you have people-written characters?
Pre-written, like from other modules?
No, as in like, you were saying like, oh, the event has happened, right? The ritual has failed.
Yeah.
But does that mean you had the characters who had failed, or people bought their
Oh, no. The people who were brought in were the people that had failed. So they were hired. Like,
and you've done this, and this. And okay.
And it's also like, I think it might have been a different session where I had this, but I think the session started with first like something else, something weird is going on. And it's not really like you're here for a ritual, but it's more so like something weird is going on. And then as they figure out, they see like, oh, there's been a ritual. Oh, it's already happened. Like the time that should have passed for this has already been passed. And then, they roll into more issues and things.
Cool.
Yeah. Weird Shit was my first session too, which was also in the league. I mean, both of us have run for our first sessions because of the league.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, 100%. I just played so much in the league where I was like, now I need to at least try DMing just to see if I like it. I think if the first one, not if it didn't go well or if it didn't feel well, that I might not have tried it, but I wouldn't have been so eager because I noticed that after the first session, I was like, I want to do it again and again and again and again. Then now there has been a bit of a break, but I'm coming back. I'll be back.
That's a threat.
Yes.
Yeah.
More stories.
I think
more failures.
Yeah. I for me, my first session was like the best day of my life.
You're married.
Yeah. the best day of my life since then. No, but it was. I think I had very high expectations. Some of the people in this room. You were there too.
I was there.
That was the start of Belith.
That's how I joined the league.
Yeah.
It was the start of Belith.
Yeah. But what I remember about that session, I had planned out, I really always wanted to do something where I'm like, the situation should be clear, but maybe I need to be prepared for other things happening because I'm the nerd who reads the rule books or like listens to people's tips and things like that. So I was just like, okay, I need to know that people do crazy things. But then after that session, I think my big realization was like, oh yeah, people really do things. You have to be prepared for it. So that, and I think that just like keeps happening to any game I run. I'm just like, I mean, in a way, I could prepare so much and just like have a smorgasbord, as it's in English, smörgåsbord in Swedish, if you want to know, of options, or prepare almost nothing and just like let these people go wild. I think I'm just gonna see here. Yeah, welcome. Let's see, Orlac the Bard, Umberto, welcome here. Ciao. I'm just bringing up the questions here because they're so interesting.
Yes.
Sorry if I miss anything. You guys can also repeat them if I don't end up being able to scroll back. But a question from Jamie of the Titan of Dreams. What is something that you've changed about how you play / make characters from your experience in the DM seat?
Yeah.
I don't know if I guess it comes more from having played a lot more. Like there was a period at the beginning of the league where I was playing like 2 to 3 sessions a week for like several months. Like it was nonsense. Then I got busy with work and and that's when you start getting more into the niche of, oh, okay, what's this character going to be? Like what's the what's their subclass? What's their this? What's their that? But you know what it is? I've gotten really into recently randomly rolling like everything like it's in the book. And making up the story on the spot, or turning up, like I played a Call of Cthulhu game at the weekend with Umberto, and got given the pre-written character sheet, and I'm like, right, looking at the stats, what's the story here? Like, why is this like jacked welder woman like in New York it's in London when she was born in New York? I'm like, right, I can write a story for that. And then I like wrote this whole story in my head, this whole backstory, and I turned over the page and they had a backstory already written, and I was like, well, fuck that, I'm not doing that bit. Like, I've already got a backstory of things. Yeah. So yeah, I've actually started doing a lot less pre-work for the character, and finding it like in our campaign that we're playing, where we were talking about, do we do levels 1 to 3 or do we start at 3? And it's like those levels 1, 2, and 3 are really good for just writing who the character is. Sure. Yeah, although still has some to an alcoholic. I'm not quite sure why that.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, I don't think a lot has changed because I have played more than I DM. And I just, like what I do when I create characters for myself is what I still do when I create characters when I DM sessions. I write way too long backstories. Jamie, you know this, so he'll probably also knows this. Like I write immense backstories where it's like, okay, like all of these details, are they necessary? For me, they're nice because I kind of, I don't know, have something that I can refer to or something that I try to role play with. Things like that. But usually how I start with creating characters is thinking like, how do I want to fight? Like what's kind of like my, like what do I want to build here? Like how, am I a warrior? Am I this? Am I that? I've mostly landed a lot on martial stuff because I love martial arts. So monk is my favorite class. I can keep making monks forever. But I've also, tried to play around in the new campaign with you. I'm playing a druid, still with some monk tendencies, I guess. But and then from there, I usually build like a backstory from things that I've read, or starting from a prompt that I find online, where it's like maybe a few questions that you go through. It's like, oh, what are they doing here? What are they doing there? And then now for DMing sessions, I have simplified it a bit where I'm more like, what's the location? What's the motivation for this character to be there? And then I fill it in with like just playing the character. Because if I have the motivation and I know the place, then I can just play on anything because the motivation is like the thing that's driving the character. Instead of trying to be very specific on the notes, like this is the exact way that they would respond. It's more like, this is what's driving them. Work it out from there.
Having drive. I just tested out, also coming to the question of like how to make player characters after having been a DM. People are saying that the love stories are great. I love the backstories. No such thing as too long. So you're clear. But I tried, so with my newest League character, Curse, that is very based on, I was like, okay, I'm going to make a new character. I'm going to play it. Test Tevin's Titan, and so you had sent some lore about the Titan, and I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to build a character based on the things I pick up here. So there was this detail for some reason that like there's 3 veils or like 3 planes, so the three is a lucky number. I'm like, okay, so this is the 4th child of people. So his name is Curse because he was considered a curse, and now he's given away to some other people. No spoilers, but that made it a lot more fun for me actually to be like, oh, I'm thinking about setting now rather than thinking about who do I really want to play. I would never choose to play I shouldn't say this on this pod or show, but I would never play a ranger, I thought. And then as we were talking about this, I'm like, he's a ranger.
I kind of get that a little bit because all of my characters are frontline. I've played back-to-back frontline cleric, frontline wizard. And it's like, I'm like going in there, I'm like, guys, I've got 2 hits and 8 HP. Like,
and I do not heal.
Yeah, and I don't heal. Like, it's... So, I don't really consider it. I'm sure I could work out a way to be a frontline ranger, or I just die, and that's that experiment, which is fine. Maybe part of the answer to that question is I love all my characters very dearly, but I'm not as attached to them anymore in the way that I am Like I had a character who when I was in my Pathfinder campaign for over a year. Her name was Avery. She's like a time traveling gunslinger, Terminator, robot. It's fucking sick. And when I had to retire that character, I was like, this is the end of the world. This is I'm never playing.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, hey man, they die. Because it means I get to print a new mini and like
right. Yeah. Well, good for me to know.
Yeah.
It was fun to fight for your character. Where it was saving Song.
Yeah, well, Song didn't die, right? So he learned nothing. But
Song is back. Yeah.
Song is back.
Okay, you can die, you come back.
Yeah.
You have, in a way, changed how I make NPCs instead when I prep, because I'm just like, if Daniel is at the table, the NPCs will get recruited. So I need to be prepared for these things.
The one thing, every single one of my characters I've ever made has been a unionist for adventuring.
Yeah.
Every single one. They're always just like, you've got any character that is like a bit trod apart, like put down or like isn't getting paid enough. I'm like, you should fucking kill your boss and be an adventurer. Like, it's sick. Like,
or it's your character's type.
It's your
character's type, where it's like, I like Dervla.
Yeah.
Join us.
Oh, Dervla. Let's see here. I don't know if this is a question, but we have a long message that I want to check. I like this format. After having played hundreds of characters in my life outside of the league, I like characters with very simple backstories, like a good man that, after having secured a stable life for his children at the age of 60, finally feels allowed to follow his dream and become an adventurer.
That's great. It actually comes back to Waco, who's on the line and who runs Mothership Games. I had played a game with him, a pre-written character who, for whatever, I can't remember if it was written on the pre-written sheet of the first game or if I just made it up, but for whatever reason I decided he had a couple of kids, right? And he managed to survive that first Mothership game. Yeah. It's relatively rare.
Yeah, applause.
Yeah. And then we played Mothership again, and my first character of that game insta-killed, 10 minutes in, space drill, like didn't make it past the prologue, and randomly pulled that same character, the previous one with the kids, out from the pre-loads or whatever. And I was like, oh, it's the same guy. Oh wait, no, that's completely different now. He can't die. Because he's got this kid thing, which ultimately culminated in me fucking leaving Tev to die, like taking the only escape pod, because I was like, it was with his blessing. And
like, my character was like, I know you have your kids.
Yeah.
Like, I have nothing. Go.
Yeah, exactly what I'm going to say. That little nugget, I'm just like, that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
And everything kind of, especially like, if a little nugget is like a huge thing, like they have kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, well, they're like Weeabics. Like, it's, you can build a lot out of that and drive towards it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everyone play a game with Waco too if you get a chance.
Yeah.
Waco, just living out his union organizing fantasies. Yeah,
I do in real life.
That's true.
Nice.
Amazing. We can just talk about making characters all day. I'm unlocking my questions here because they fell asleep. Wow, I wrote down like the same question. I don't know if that's good. Okay, wait. Yeah. Never mind. So Hale has a message for us. After having played a number of one-shots and making many characters, I realized there's a thing where most characters have traumatic pasts motivating them. So I tried a tiefling who was adopted by an upper middle class human family, was well loved and well supported, and they just encouraged him to go adventuring because that's what he wanted to do.
Yes, it's rad. I had Telemachy, who is a Minotaur character. She was the daughter of the fantasy equivalent of Theseus. And she was kind of a nepo baby in that, like, her parents were adventurers, but they were just like, yeah, go fucking adventure or whatever. It was a very loving, happy family, and it was just a family business. Yeah. And I was like, it's nice. Yeah. But equally at that point, not to be all, to give too much on the stream, I was role playing as having had a happy childhood. Yeah, I mean, I was like, I wonder what that's like. It seems nice. Yeah.
I had one. Actually, this is maybe one of my first characters that I played before the league was a thing was also a tiefling, but he was more embarrassed by how unambitious his parents were. So he was like, I'm going to be a chef. Yeah. Tried to be a chef, and then someone destroyed his establishment, of course. The backstory was a little tragic, but his childhood was just like, I need to be something better than my boring ass parents.
Yeah. He's just like trying to do class mobility.
Yeah.
Like that's Great.
Nice.
Where that was somewhere in one of the published settings as well.
Yeah.
I remember at one point we were discussing everyone having built a rogue who had been abandoned by their parents at one point.
I mean, like, for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every because also the thing about the adventuring lifestyle, that thing of people don't just move away from home and live on the road for no reason, right? Like we're both immigrants here, right? Like that's just a true thing. You don't just move out of your home country for no reason.
Yeah.
So in Fantasyland, parents are dead. It's a very easy one to do.
Yeah.
I think
It's not as interesting to be like, there was like this vote and you got weird in terms of like a customs situation. You know,
I think I have one character, Sylvain, who kind of has like the nice parents. Parents are alive. He has a good life. There was some tragedy where the parents were kind of like moving around and just helping him train just to protect himself. Then he was like, I want to go adventure, to kind of like as a coming of age thing.
Yeah.
But he looked very edgy, but he's like a softie. And every session that he has had, there's some level of insanity that's like pushed upon him because there's something with some mind controlling stuff, or he gets fucking used as a feed for a plant man on the Frog Titan, or there's eyes in the skies looking at him. And now at this point, he's level 4, but he's been through too much right now. So he's chilling.
Yeah.
For a bit.
Unhinged.
Yes.
Speaking of Jamie's comment, this is what they mean when they say D&D is wish fulfillment. When you DM, what do if you homebrew or things like that, what's your wish fulfillment? What are you like gifting yourself as a DM?
Crazy anime moves.
Yeah.
Crazy moves that like doing stuff with characters where like I know in like the boss characters are able to do this because they can do some boss bullshit. Like, legendary action. Crazy shit. So I usually just grab like epic moments from anime and it's like, okay, the character's gonna do this.
Well, also you had just the setup of the world a little bit in that first session that I played on your Titan, where it's like, here's a body in a tree that's clearly been thrown several miles.
Yeah.
Like, that's an anime.
Like, come on, there's some Dragon Ball Z shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I want to, if I think about the kind of progress phase specifically, I have this thing, especially with a lot of folklore and like folk music and folk tales, tales like people like Finn Mac and Tan Lin, these kind of old English folk stories. I've made the decision, like in my 30s, to just believe those are actually physically true. Right, it's more interesting like to be in a world that where like that guy did eat the salmon of knowledge, gain all of the thing, and that's what created kind of the classes and all this. So building a world where it's like and this is what that looks like if everyone understands that, right? Because in D&D everyone's like the gods are real, the gods are real, it's a real thing. So I'm building a world where everyone's like the folk stuff, of course that's real. Yeah, because I also know people in my life who believe that as well. So it's nice to imagine that little. Yeah,
and it like gives you that break where you get to believe these things.
Well, it's like I do because also I had this thing where I was in Portugal, and I was going through this forest to a castle, and there was a guy in the woods, and he was playing a flute. And me and Sarah were there, and we didn't chuck him a coin or whatever. And afterwards, I was like, "Fuck, that guy, we're fucking cursed.
Oh,
we're for sure cursed." And like 5 years, Donald Trump, Brexit, like.
So you could have saved the world. What have you done?
I literally was like, every time I thought about it, and then like 5 years later, I was like, I looked with turning, and I was like, okay, we've kind of paid the piper a little bit at least.
You made us. You shifted into the timeline where like these things go wrong.
Pay that forest spirit.
That was the overlap between the Fey realm and here, and now they're loose, exacting revenge.
Nice.
I think when I DM, the fantasy I fulfill for myself is not caring, which is nice. Like, I feel like I do a lot of characters, so I just like, I don't fucking care. I that could never be me.
That's really funny. Your NPCs that are like, I don't give a shit. That's so good. There's Derblo as an example. When we first met that character, this character was a NPC who was a team, but they were working for an enemy of ours.
Yeah.
And my question to them was just, are you here like out of passion or just financial reasons? And she was like, I'm just getting paid. And I was like, we'll pay you. And she's like, oh, fuck these guys. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's just a very human thing of like most people in the real world are just doing it for the money. And if you say, I'll just give you more money.
Yeah.
And you're like
all
right.
Yeah, deal. Easy deal. We have messages. I find goofy backstories extremely fun, says Ege.
Yeah.
One of my favorite backstory for one of my characters is the one who got bored of doing his job as a postman and decided to become an adventurer.
Cody!
Is it deep? No. Is it enough to go on an adventure? Heck yeah. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, dude. Cody.
Also, Waco says, I always knew that Brexit was because someone got cursed by a flute player. Classic.
Yeah. Fucked it.
I'm going to bring that into the game in some way.
Well, there goes all our gold.
Yeah. Well, no, because I know now, I'll pay him.
Yeah, we'll pay him.
I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
always carry gold with you when you walk into the forest.
You know this. People know this. Sale knows this from his time as well. It's like, I tip people in my D&D games. If we go see a guard or whatever, I'm I'll give him a fucking tip because I'm like...
I've been known to give people inspiration if they have bought me snacks earlier in the day.
Oh yeah, that's a straight up actual DMing tip that I would give, which is reward players for in real life being like, decent and a good person. You know, like if someone turns up, what's his name, Tom, came to my house to play and he bought like cookies and like a Moomin tin for PJ. And I was like, of course you get. Like, not only do you get inspiration, I'm just going to favour your character today. I'm like...
It's your game today.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But, it's like you bought something for my kitty joke. Of course I'm going to...
This reminds me of...
you'll get gifts now.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody take note. People are writing frenetically, I see. But I'm listening to... I listen to Glass Cannon Network, which also does actual plays, different systems and so on. And they have a system where people get, I guess, caps. I don't watch it. I listen to it. I think it's bottle caps. And everyone gets X amount of caps at the beginning of every single session. And it's basically inspiration that you can use to reroll anything. And I kind of like this as an idea of just like, instead of me remembering that I need to give inspiration because I forget and I should remember it more, but I like the idea of having it in place from the beginning.
The session, the campaign I'm playing at the Oba on Wednesdays at the moment is we're playing the Forgotten Realms start thing, and it's a very low stakes. We just wanted to do like sword and sandals, and the DM's thing is like everyone gets a inspiration once every session, just because. We're not in it for that like really deep meta. It's like we just want to be heroes for a bit. Like it's that kind of session.
I like it.
So that kind of is game dependent, of course.
Yeah. No, exactly. Are you an inspiration guy?
Giving
it out? Yeah.
I actually don't think I've given a lot of inspiration. I think what I like is when people really play their characters and it's not just about rolling.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes I also get frustrated with rolling in the sense that the randomization, of course, it's a game and there also, you can't always win. But I also like when I just get to play my character, where it's just like the character responds to how I play my character. And then that is rewarded in the sense that it could be a yes, could be a no, but I get something out of it. And maybe it's a connection with the character that I can use later, or I get back and they remember me, or stuff like that. I think I like that a bit more.
Well, it's also, it rewards you by not making you roll. And
for me, it's like a reward to not have to roll. It's like, I can just, I've played Beleth like this. And and that was rewarding. So.
Yeah, exactly. A question. Umberto, what is the best way to annoy you while you are DMing?
The best way to annoy me while DMing? Sure. It's playing Cody and asking me the name of every character so you can roll for your very specifically Frog Titan given item. No, but it's that happens. Like I was scared of naming characters. What's the character's name? I'm like, they don't have a name. What now? No, but the like annoying. I think I haven't really met anyone that has annoyed me really. Like that's just like fun, laughing. Like, okay, now I like there's mail for the character. Okay, if you roll it, now I kind of want to hear like what I need to make up for this character. Like they get mail, what do they get? Like maybe it was the
Mhm.
tax, like oh shit, we need to do our tax. I think that happened where he actually rolled for it and then he got it, and I think I just said, oh yeah, it's the tax, like the tax office, and we're like a fucking guild. Oh we oh yeah, thanks. We need to make sure that we do our taxes also. No, small thing, but annoying. I think someone who I would find annoying is someone who that you can obviously see they're not really going with the table. I think because I've played a lot, I also now it's not that you always have to do what the table does, because your character might also do things that are outside of it. But there's also like just we're still there to play a game together, right? It's still a social aspect, and I think knowing that you can also still make it fun while being able to play your character. I think that.
Yeah.
But other than that, no real annoyance. Don't worry, Ege, you can keep asking me about the mail of random characters. I just wonder if it's ever going to happen where you meet a god and you actually hit that mail, and what mail would a god get?
What about you?
I wouldn't say there's anything that's specific. I think that covers it. Like things that would annoy me as a human being is like it's like if you're in someone's house, you be polite and like make sure that everyone's engaged with the game. Yeah. I think the thing that I probably people know here will get you retribution as a character is if you're like rude, because to my NPCs, like I'm not going to be personally offended by it, but like I play most of my NPCs pretty much as myself because it's easy. So it's like when people start like giving it this, which I know I'm also guilty of, then I'm like, yeah, every NPC in my world's like level 50. Like, fucking they are all retired adventurers. Because it's like I'm very, because I'm also quite like conflict averse. Like in real life, I'm pretty like relaxed, and I'm in a position I'm privileged enough to be able to be pretty relaxed. So if I'm playing an NPC and someone like tries to argue with them, I'm just like, I'll just kill you, mate.
Here's my chance.
I noticed it with Warden. I tried to use command on one of the guards, and it was like the head guard, and I tried to use command. The DC was like 14. He's easily gonna make that. And he was like, "Did you just do magic?" I'm like, "Oh, I was scared. The lights fell out." And he was like, come here for a minute.
I like to do the Bane hand on the shoulder.
It's like a big guy.
You feeling control?
Feeling control. Just laying the hand on. You feeling control? Because
also like half of my characters and NPCs have like cannons for arms. So you're just like
But I actually do think this is hard. I'm really bad at actually punishing, not punishing, but like creating real consequences. Even just I ran a game on Monday night where I had a lot of fun, and I was like, someone just failed their stealth check, and I'm like, oh, I feel so bad, but a sword is at your neck, basically. Like someone's found you.
I don't tend to write situations that I know are going to get people in trouble, but I also don't really make any effort to write things that are going to avoid that. So oftentimes I will find myself in a situation where I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, someone's going to die. Like this has gone sideways. Yeah. And then you just honor the rolls, and it's what it is. Like it's fine, it's chill. But I don't tend to put without a lot of like, are you shoring? I don't tend to. Intentionally.
I think I do try to not be very like explicit with it, but I try to implicitly make sure that the person knows like what you're doing. There might be some danger tied to this. Are you not like an exactly are you sure, but more of like a this and this happens. It's connected to this. You sure want to do this?
Yeah. There might be consequences.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check in on some comments here also.
They were laughing at the Cody.
Oh, Waco says, this is how I found out I'm a terrible person. I have never once received inspiration from these people.
We're like, we give it to anyone.
Everyone gets it. Waco, you deserve all the inspiration, always. Nepo, please, is a fantastic character.
I love him.
I didn't say maybe I should answer to how to annoy me, but I think honestly I'm just echoing you guys here. So Hale, also you maybe haven't received inspiration. Sorry, everybody.
I'll also give out inspiration just if someone makes me laugh. Like a good bit, like in real life. A good way to make me laugh always is with like an unexpected joke. And often if you're behind the laptop, like, and you're doing something and someone does a good bit, I'll hear it and I'll be like, that's good inspiration. And then I'll just go back to my thing.
Yeah. That's such a power move too, where you're just like, I was not fully paying attention, but
your brain
was so good.
Your brain passes it, and it's just like a little bit, like a clever little bit of wordplay, and you're like,
exactly.
And I think also on the annoyance, something popped up where I think it's more of a learning experience for me because I'm not a seasoned DM, where it's also like, oh, okay, how do I deal with this? After the fact, maybe I just kind of screw over it for now, like in the session where I'm just, okay, we keep going. But after it, I'm thinking like, okay, how can I handle it the next time? Or how do I want to handle it the next time that it comes up? So it's more of a learning experience for me than, and I think just every player in the league has been, they all play together. We're doing it together.
People are so generous.
There's generosity. We're here to have fun. So I haven't really had any person that is really like getting under my skin.
I think because we don't do a lot of like long form, like this is the story stuff, there's a less opportunity for characters who are like, this is what I want to achieve and this is what I want to do in the session, which is not really like the game for me. Like it's kind of it's limited because people tend to just play the objective, because they turn up, you say as a DM, you say the objective, like here's what's happening today, and they do it as a team. I think probably if, like you said right at the beginning, if they weren't doing that would be an annoyance.
It's like
went into it too much.
We're here to play. If you don't play, then it's like, why are you here?
Snacks, free snacks.
Free snacks.
Let's see. Okay, we're gonna roll a D100.
Yeah.
So Hale tells me that the consequence for the failed stealth check was fair. Being taken to the boss is a totally viable consequence. This is true. The boss, who also was one of the, I don't know if I can hear people.
Why are you here?
We're gonna just do some little random questions because I'm mindful of our time.
Yes.
So please roll a D100 and you will get a question based on it.
58.
58. Okay, I actually need to pull up the questions as well.
Do I also need to roll first?
You do. So number 1. Have you ever stolen a player's theory and made it the real plot?
And openly. As long as is it this? I go, it is. That's better. Happily, it's a collaborative storytelling game, and as someone who is, I do prep insofar as I like making maps and I like making character arts and I like making encounters. The story that I weave between them is pretty it's pretty loose. There's an objective and stuff, but if someone comes and is like, okay, within that context, is it this? And you're like, I've not written anything for it to not be, absolutely do that.
Well, I really like picking up when people say small things in the session, or they're like, what if it's this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'll take that and build on it between sessions and see. So like part of it will be a little true. Yeah. Part of it might not be.
Yeah. I've not been, that's something I wish I was better at is remembering like stuff that characters have said and making notes. I very rarely return to a session after I've done it, just business wise, potential wise. When I did my pirate campaign, that was something I tried to do more of. It was a little bit easier because it was a longer form campaign. But it's something I would like to do more. Especially in the league. I mean, I'll give out like tech items and stuff, but it's not really. It's pretty good.
It's nice.
Yeah. I think I haven't done enough DMing that I think theories have come up yet. But I do have like going with the direction that the players give, in the sense that it's kind of like an improv session where players do something and that takes them somewhere, and then I need to kind of figure out, okay, what happens there. And I think sometimes that also brings the story for the next part like into a different direction. So I think in that sense, the players' actions direct where the story goes.
But I mean, we did a super short play-by-post kind of thing in between sessions where it feels like I felt like my character got to make decisions, and then it changes things for the next
It does.
group or
It
stuff like that,
did.
which isn't necessarily moving or like changing the plot.
No.
Although I do love how incredibly hard it is to know what to do on your Titan, especially like with my character too. I'm like, am I friends with darkness or am I enemies with this thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
Those are good problems to have.
That's good. That's good. I rolled a 66.
66, 96.
Oh,
Nice,
96.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't
Let's
read.
First time rolling dice.
What's a moment from adventures at your table that you think about often?
A moment from adventures.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be often. That sounds creepy, but a moment that you cherish.
A moment that I cherish. I think in each of them there's always a moment that I kind of like. I think in the first session it was that you guys were taking, well, maybe specifically Alessandro's character was taking the blind guy into the house where the person who did the ritual was living before, and that had consequences. I think that was an interesting moment where everyone was also like, oh fuck, like what's going on? Like what happened?
What is happening?
Basically it was someone who had some form of true sight. But it felt even further than true sight. And they took them in the middle of a room, or like I was asking like, oh, where are you taking them? And then when they came to the middle of the room, that person's head like started bursting into flames. Some things
as
you may not know. And that happened. I think that was fun. I think there was another session where there was a singer who was stuck on a ship in the abyss. No, not in the abyss. In I forgot the name. In Astral Sea, and landed after a millennia in the Titan, and while confronting that singer, like that was kind of possessing spirits and like affecting the lay of the land a bit, one of the characters just turned into her lover that she was singing for, and that kind of changed how it played out, because it would have been a battle originally where it was like, you're like, there's multiple ways you can kind of stop this, and then now it became you're kind of distracting her, and there's this other thing you can do to kind of stop this and make sure that it doesn't continue. So that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah. I like that. Sounds unhinged and good.
Yes. It was funny because you also sometimes I don't always, because I'm DMing, I don't always catch on what a person wants to do, and then they ask a very specific question. It's like, do we see the photo of?
Yeah.
And then I was why? And, I turned into him. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, you're a changeling, huh? Yeah. And then that happens. It's like
amazing.
Yeah.
What about you?
I remember it was during the pilot campaign I did, and we were playing at my house, and Sarah was putting PJ to bed. We were already playing, but Sarah wanted to play after PJ was in bed. So I had sort of got a captain of the guard at this fort that they were secretly were-sharks, because I had a bunch of were-shark minis. And so Sarah like put PJ to bed, and like second perfect timing for the introduction of the captain coming in. Sarah comes in and she's like, and it's me, and she does this thing. I can't remember what it was, but she immediately took an absolutely insane swing as the character. But I can't remember what it was, but it was just some, like, I was like, I didn't give you, like, she just like started doing a voice and shit. Like, I was like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
And then that character was also a were-shark. So she was basically like the NPC MacGuffin, like the DMPC who stopped everyone getting completely murdered by the situation they got themselves into. So she's just running around this town as a were-shark, biting up pirate heads. And that was a lot of fun, because Sarah doesn't play a huge amount, and so it was nice to play with her, but it was also nice just because it was just an insane situation to be in. So it was,
but I like this. I feel like D&D thrives with a little bit of a guest star sometimes. Someone who like jumps in or just has less stake than, or I don't know. I mean,
a little bit of a chaos energy, for sure. Cause, it is. But if you're in that kind of campaign, and it's like, It's also just it's nice to like have a bit of fresh blood.
Yeah.
I have one moment that I think about that I played on your Titan, which was when Warden was eating cookies at a grandma's house. And the rest of the group was in a different room doing something like Warden didn't know. And I was just eating cookies, and then I was like, okay, now we have to go. So I go out of the door, and then the grandma saw the characters with her money. And one of the characters was like, hey, she tried to take your money, but I got it. And just instant fireball. My character couldn't even turn around. And it was just absolute chaos because she was like a drug boss or drug lord.
Yeah, she was a cocaine mafia. And she lived in this tower.
Exactly.
And you guys had like gone and stopped to like see her.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, she was just there to be like a point of respite, and then someone, and it remains in contention who it was just robbing her.
It was Anne's character.
Yeah.
And why was I blown up?
But then
I was eating her cookies.
Then someone else snitched, and I was like,
it was Sohail's character who snitched.
Yeah. Someone said
people are blaming each other.
And I'm like, the situation here is you are in a drug lord's house, and this drug lord is just canonically like a level 12 fucking wizard or whatever.
I was nice to her. Why did she blow me up?
You were just there. Like you were just there.
I was just like out the door. She saw the money, and the last thing I saw was a fireball, and then terrible.
She's doing fine.
The cookies were cooked in my robo stomach.
Yeah.
This was the goal. And with that, I'm gonna see if we should wrap this thing up. But we've got some people typing.
I tried to be good.
Always share gifts in these. Anna and Sohail being part of that adventure and having some things to say. There was a mattress being involved.
Yeah,
the money was in
the mattress.
The money was in the mattress because they were just robbing her.
No, Fern was robbing her. It wasn't it wasn't me, it wasn't Sohail's character, it was Fern. I got blasted.
Is it robbing then, or is it?
Is it burglary?
Yeah.
Is it burglary? I think it's burglary, but yeah.
Well, Sohail has been.
No, we will be brand if you didn't tell. What? I mean, true, maybe.
This is great.
But do you really want the wrath of a elf drug lord hanging behind your head on the Titan of technology? I wouldn't.
I don't think I would. I do want the cookies.
Well, that ship has sailed.
The cookies were nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was burned, so it didn't matter.
Are you fine now? Are you?
Warden is still traumatized because he was kidnapped on the Titan of Desolation and used as a power source.
So no.
No. Play games in the league, everybody.
Yeah.
Your characters will go to their deaths. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you both for being here. We will be back in about 2 months with another one of these. You'll see these people again. Thank you, everybody, for asking questions, for bringing stuff up, and for blaming each other for past crimes in game, in the chat.
And they're still going on.
They are still going on. And the bell rings.
Yeah.
We are done for today. Thank you, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yay.
It was a happy one.
Let's see. And stop recording.